What's going on, guys? Today we've got some AK-47 gameplay on Grounds of Raid, and today we're going to be talking about something that is near and dear to my heart with this game. And obviously we've got some Modern Warfare beta gameplay in the background, and today we're going to be talking all about the connections and where I think they should go with it, where I think the connections should be for this game. Now, Joe Secot and a few of the developers early on, when multiplayer was revealed, when there was that 100 questions answered by the developers, by Game Informer, one of the answers that they gave was that they wanted there to be some sort of skill-based matchmaking in this game to protect the newer players from getting absolutely destroyed by the Call of Duty veterans, the people that have been playing this game for a very, very long time. And where I can understand that coming is, like, I can definitely understand where the developers are coming from with that, because you don't want to scare away the newer players. You don't want to make them think about going and playing some other game because they find it too hard to get used to the game and find it too hard to play. Now, personally, I think the first 10 levels, first 15 levels, whatever, should be in a combat training mode where the skill-based matchmaking is very high. The really good players get kicked out of a lobby into really good players and stuff like that, and it protects them newer players from getting absolutely pub stomped every single game that they join. Maybe the first game they join might not be the best experience, but maybe from then on out it will improve and get better for them. The issue I have with the beta so far, on the beta now that it's over, the issue that I was having, the biggest problem I was having, is that I was running into players from like Spain, Germany, France, the Netherlands, and all over Europe. Now, I am a UK player, but I have been coming up against people from like Norway, Germany, France, you name it. I've been playing against them if they've been from Europe, which I guess is fine because we're all on European servers and stuff like that. But to me, if I'm in the UK, I should be connecting to a London server. I should be connecting to a lot of other people that are in the same region as me. Not necessarily London itself, or not necessarily Manchester, or wherever I'm from. But to me, what it should be is that if I'm connected to a server in Manchester or London, then anyone else that's connected to that server should also be from England itself, and not across the pond in Europe, where obviously the connections can be very, very iffy. And obviously when you've got a game like Modern Warfare where you die very, very quickly, where we didn't have a mini-map at first, when the connections are bad, you feel like you're getting insta-melted, you feel like you don't have any sort of way of surviving because you literally put like, you don't even put a bullet into someone sometimes and you just get absolutely ruined.
Okay.
And it's annoying to play in a game like that because you really, really want to be playing in a game that's a lot of fun. You want the connections to be even, you want the connections to be fluid and smooth.
Bro, I swear
You don't...
I'm
sorry about the audio in the background. Obviously I had my headset plugged into the TV and different things, so I'm not at my normal setup, and yeah, the chat audio was quite loud, and I didn't realise until it was too late, because this is literally one of the last games of the beta that I got to record. So yeah, honestly I feel like this game, to me, for the first 10 to 20 levels at most, maybe put in a thing of skill-based matchmaking to protect the newbie players, the newer players. But I also think that there should be some sort of combat training mode just for those people that don't want to jump straight into the multiplayer, that will have skill-based matchmaking enabled, which will obviously help those players. But I have to say, Infinity Ward, please go only connection-based. If the connection is not equal across the board, don't bother putting us in that lobby. Make sure the connection and the ping and everything for every single player is pretty much equal. I don't mind playing in a I don't mind playing in a lobby where the connections are nice, the connections are good, and my experience with a game like that, when I've been playing the game and the connections have been smooth, the connections have been flawless, at times I've really done well and I've really enjoyed the game. However, when I was at home, my connection was really weird. I don't know what the hell was going on, but what happened was I'd run into a room and die without seeing someone. I wouldn't even know what had killed me until I watched the kill cam, because I would just die instantly on the spot. And that to me is something that I don't want to see in Call of Duty. I don't want to have the experience of, you know, I don't even have to have the... I can't even be up on someone. I don't have an advantage, because if they're looking where I'm going to be, I run into the screen before I even see that that person is there. And to me, that is an unfair advantage that shouldn't be in the game. It's something that I don't think should be part of a multiplayer experience. A multiplayer experience is supposed to be designed to be fair, to be fun, to be enjoyable. And if the connections are all over the place, and the connections are not equal for the people that are playing the game, then obviously it's going to turn people away from playing the game, and it's going to turn people away from trying new things and moving around the map and being active as a player. And I personally think that's why, when the minimap wasn't there, and even though the minimap is there, you still get people camping, you still get people playing really slow, really methodical, and not really wanting to move out of the corners because they don't know what to expect. They don't know whether they're going to run into someone that's just going to destroy them before they can even react, or whether they're going to be able to take that person out because they actually end up having that advantage. And I feel like there has been many gunfights and many situations where if the connection would have been better, I'd have stayed alive, I'd have done better than I had done in the game. And I think my best kill streak in this game was about a 15 or 16 gun streak. And obviously I got an attack chopper and I got my Harrier and stuff like that and called it all in. I had a really good game. But what killed me was the fact that I ended up running into a player that was not in the same country as I was and was skipping around the map. So when I came to that gunfight, I was dead before I even saw the guy. I basically started firing my weapon and I was already dead at that point. So much so that I didn't even get a hit marker on the guy that I was shooting at. And here is a prime example of what I mean. I started shooting at the guy and suddenly he's already killed me. And I feel like that obviously may have been because he was using a deagle and I was already at low health from jumping down the stairs. Probably a bad move on my part. But I also didn't see him come back round the corner until the last second. So by the time I got aimed down sight and was shooting at him, on his screen I was probably already dead. And that is something that I just think needs to be ironed out in this game. I think, obviously, protect the new players, put them in their own playlist straight away until they unlock the creator class, until they unlock certain things, and give them a little bit of a multiplayer tutorial and maybe a mode that they can jump into so that they can get comfortable, give people that option to do that. But personally, I don't want to see the connections be like they have been. I don't want to turn round and then suddenly see a guy come round the corner and kill me, or run through a door and suddenly I'm dead before I even know what's happened, because the connections this weekend in particular so far have been a little bit iffy. In the 2v2 gunfight mode, I thought the connections were perfect. It seemed to work very well. There didn't seem to be too much of a matchmaking issue or anything like that. In that, I was winning 2v1s, I was winning 1v1s, I was taking two people out without actually knowing that there was any sort of difference. I didn't feel like there was any sort of matchmaking in the alpha. But when it came to this game and it came to the weekend and playing this weekend, it did feel like there was connection advantages. It did feel like there was something a little bit amiss that caused me to die maybe more times than I maybe should have. And I admit, I'm not the best player. I'm not going to walk over everybody in a lobby, but I'm competent with Call of Duty and I've been playing it for years, and I should be able to win most of my gunfights. And there has been times in the beta where I've literally sprayed 45 bullets into someone and died. I've literally emptied full magazines into people in this game and then died as a result of the connection not being very good. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Leave your comments and feedback down below. Let me know what you thought of the beta down below in the comments section, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.